All right, we're back. Once again, it's Sovereign Minds,
The podcast.
I don't know why we do that. We just do. I don't know. It's October 3rd.
It is crazy, huh?
2025. We're down here at Mountaintop Media in the epicenter of freedom. And the title of this is podcast 156, and we're going to title it SickFlix. And
that's being nice.
Yeah, I had a couple other ones, but
this is
sick seems to be the.
This is yeah.
So now we've
lost for words.
There's been a whole bunch of uproar lately about they're canceling. Elon Musk came out with something about Netflix trying to groom his children or his daughters or something, and then all of a sudden they went on a tear. Now their stock's down 70%. Everybody's bailing out of Netflix. No, never mind. Netflix. So, and we wanted to figure out what was the big uproar about,
Yeah, but before this even started happening, you can remember a couple of years ago, we were starting to see little signs of stuff like in videos and books for our kids, and they say, "Oh no, that's not happening. That's not what's going on." Well, here you go.
Well, this is turning out more and more to be a battle of good and evil. I mean, and it's kind of hard to just look the other way. I mean, I don't want to sound all conspiratorial and religious and all that stuff, but at some point in time, you got to go, what the hell is going on here?
But I want to get the truth out there to people because, a lot of people don't realize that what their kids are watching or doing on the internet. Just saying.
So I guess I'm going to turn my Netflix off as well.
I did mine a long time ago.
So we got teenage lesbian kiss in Netflix Jurassic Park cartoon sparks more outrage and subscription cancellations. So this is what they're doing. You've got Netflix is facing this intense backlash. Why are they doing this? Go ahead and scroll up a little bit, and I guess play this. I don't know. I don't know what this is.
I know. I heard you earlier. I just wanted to hear you say it again because I've been wanting to hear you say that since I don't even know when.
They're not grooming our kids, are they? Yeah, they're not teaching them anything. Oh, yes, this is great.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with this, right?
Yay. So you get the picture. All right. So it's like, what is wrong with these idiots? This isn't their business. They're trying to normalize everything, and then they wonder why they don't have anybody's going to use their stuff anymore.
And they make it sound like there's so many people that are doing the same thing, and the percentage is like, I don't know, like 2% of the population. It's very, 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 very low.
Again, let's go to the next one. So, this is
Couldn't be something to do with money?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe this is part of the debasement of society by the Marxist minions and the useful idiots that don't know what they're doing, because it's a lot easier to take over a country when you're debasing everybody and they have no morals, and they look to the government to take care of all their needs. Just saying.
I'm sorry, but there's a lot of blue on there.
So we look at Netflix. And this is election contributions and company employee donations in 2024. You notice anything about Netflix? They're an unbiased, diverse group, right?
Yes, I say.
100%.
There's a lot of blue there.
100% donated to the Democratic Party for elections from their employees. Well,
Yeah, but do you see the red people are just barbecuing and putting their money in investments?
Yeah, you got Charles Schwab.
I'm not sure who.
I'm not Twillo.
ICE, what they mean by ICE for the red one, but I'm not sure what that means.
Where you? I'm not sure.
At the bottom.
At the bottom, ICE.
I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know. Conservatives, I think, spent money on anything that said ICE after Alligator Alcatraz.
I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway,
immigration and customs and immigration. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, it's telling. So,
Yes, it is.
So 100% of Netflix
Employees have contributed to
SickFlix employees, I guess.
the Democrats.
Yeah. Okay. We got it. Move on. Oh, here's another. We got the Netflix is going after your kids. That's the main thing that we're talking about here.
Leave the kids alone. You know, if you want to do your thing and you're, over the age of 18, that's one thing. Leave our kids alone.
Looks like we got a cross-dresser. We got the lesbian kiss. We got the boys. I don't know what the bottom right one is. I guess.
Well, I think
got
further
hair.
on, go ahead.
This one right here, I think, is the Cocomelon one where he had two dads. This one right here is a new show where the dog or the pig helps this kid become trans. This is like a
I think it's
girl
the
who now is a
dog.
boy and has never felt better in their own body than being trans.
I was going to say, I think one of the other ones we have an actual, little excerpt of what he is, but still.
Yeah. So.
That's about right.
They're not
You see their eyeballs down here,
that's the problem, and that's the problem with most of the Democrats. They don't. Facts mean nothing. Okay, they have their own view of the world based on their ideals, and they want to make sure your kids join their world as soon as possible. So with this. Netflix. If you needed another reason to cancel your Netflix account,
you don't have to look too much further.
After Susan Rice was caught spying on Trump and other Americans, Netflix asked her to join their board of directors.
Why would they do that?
This is. I mean, they always talk about, oh, you're Nazis or this and that, but like, who's doing the propaganda and who's going after the kids and. Like Nazi Germany, the brown shirts, they wanted to get them to not listen to their parents and go their own way. And the government was all good. And Netflix isn't, so.
Yeah, usually you want somebody, that has integrity and stands up for good things on your board of directors and all that.
Hopefully, maybe she'll get charged here pretty soon because it says abused her unmasking authority to target the Trump transition officials, prying into private calls and fueling the Russian hoax, which, by the way, was completely discredited. And that's how they got the FISA warrants to spy on the Trump campaign.
They
and
lied.
Why is big tech elevating Obama's spy instead of protecting your privacy? Good question.
They wouldn't have no agenda.
Yeah. Netflix.
Again.
All right. Now, the good news, I guess they kind of ticked Elon Musk off again because he figured out that his kids were watching trans agendas cartoon, the woke cartoons pushing trans agenda to his kids.
And it kind of upset him.
So he's running a campaign against them now, and Netflix is in free fall. They lost more than $15 billion in market in just 1 week, and I hope they go under. I really do. These people need to go under. So we got the Protect Your Kids, cancel Netflix, the woke agenda, the Trojan horse. Yeah, I think it's pretty appropriate. And this is from
maybe it's a good thing in some ways because we've seen this with other companies and stuff that go woke, they go broke.
Yeah,
maybe there's a good, so to speak.
Well,
of
people are waking up.
People.
After the Charlie Kirk thing, a lot of people woke up, I think, because they realized the depth of the depravity of these people that are promoting this agenda. These people are sick and they have a mental problem. And anybody who's buying into this crap and into the Democratic agenda, into the woke agenda, into the progressive mantra, if you will.
Yeah, I don't think they realized how big the younger generation was with Charlie Kirk. They didn't think he had followers like that. I don't think.
Well,
but I'm just saying the youngest generation that we got going right now is waking up and going, we're tired of this.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think they probably did realize that. That's why they shot him. So, moving on. Let's see what else we got here. Now, Leslie brought this one up, and I was like, what? Because I can't keep up with everything. I don't think nobody can. We all have our little areas that we're dwelling. This is the Diary of Anne Frank's graphic adaptation. This is in the, it says full text reviews, school library journal. They're putting this in the school libraries like this is a adaptation of Anne Frank's diary, except that it's like really not anything to do with Anne Frank's diary. It's a complete made up bunch of crap. You know, it says it says at the heart of her diary is Anne herself, self-aware, gutsy, and unpretentious. Readers see her as her mature over the years. Particularly arresting passage portrays her inner struggle. The two Annes. No.
Do they still? Is that still that you have to read Anne Frank's diary in school?
Well, this is the
No,
new.
that's the thing is there was a push by a group on the left to remove the Diary of Anne Frank because they said that it was glorifying the Holocaust and it was too much for our kids. So this one, if you look at the line right here that says, lightly touches on historical context woven through diary entries, providing necessary background without coming across overly diegetic.
Yeah, the whimsical illustrations which played upon Anne's active imagination during her time in hiding are unexpectedly moving, although we never lose sight of the gravitas of Anne's story that forays into fantasy. This whole thing's fantasy.
They pull her diary, her actual diary writings, and they put this in place to the children.
With an agenda. Now,
no, there would be no agenda. Come on now.
Let's go to the next page. Is there an agenda here? I don't know.
Let's look at some of these
Let's
pictures.
see.
Oh, my. This is just so sickening.
January 6, 44. Dearest Kitty, yesterday I read an article about blushing as if she'd addressed it directly to me during the puberty girls withdraw into themselves and begin to think about the wondrous changes in their taking place in their body. Yeah, okay. I got. I'll run with that. Whenever I have my period, I have the feeling that in spite of all the pain and discomfort, I'm carrying around a sweet secret.
That is just disgusting.
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't want to know what they mean by that, but it's disgusting. Why would you put that in a book like that and give it to children?
And I'm
Oh,
sure.
but wait, it gets worse.
I'm sure this is based on the true story, right?
And it just began, and onward we go.
I've read Anne Frank's diary. This has nothing. There's nothing like this in Anne Frank's diary.
Right. And then you go down to the third one down.
Yeah.
But I had these feelings even before my period. I remember particularly one time when I spent the night at Jackie's,
I guess.
And then it says, Jackie, could we show? I'm sorry, it's hard for me to see.
Can we show each other our breasts?
Well, and Jackie says, why? As proof of our friendship. Absolutely not, says her. If only she had known my terrible desire to kiss her.
I must admit, every time I see a female, I go into ecstasy. If only I had a girlfriend.
Female nude.
Are you... What?
It says female nude.
I'm sorry. I must admit, every time I see a female nude, I go into ecstasy. It's like, I'm so... this is so unbelievable to me. They take a work like Anne Frank's diary, which is illustrating the horrors of the Holocaust, the fear, the things that these people went through to avoid being exterminated, and they turn it into some kind of a cheap pornographic novel for kids to eat up into some kind of woke environment and brainwash them into stupid crap.
Yeah. I just now noticed on the bottom right here it says, if only I had a girlfriend. Yeah. I didn't notice that little takedown here until just now.
So,
wow.
So it's not just Netflix. It's in a lot of places, and you have to be real careful. And are you going to be able to avoid all this with your kids? No, you probably have to talk to them a lot about this stuff and let them know what's going on a little bit when they can understand what you're talking about, because they are trying to brainwash your kids at every level. I mean, why
Not just that, they're grooming them. They're grooming them at a very young age.
Well, and then they wonder, and why did they shoot Charlie Kirk? Because he was talking to the kids in the colleges about their agendas and how screwed up it was, and how they needed to start thinking about truth and not fantasy and lies. Yeah. So this one kind of upsets me a little bit, just because. The
whole thing, especially they've been grooming our children for a while. And you need to wake up to the fact if they're not grooming them, they're going to try to kill them. I mean, let's on the next article, if they're not doing one, they're doing the other.
Are so full of themselves and so full of it's unbelievable. Now
I don't know if you could call it hatred or just
evil.
Just
Evil.
plain evil.
It's evil.
Sadistic.
They sit there and say, "You're a Nazi. You're this. You're that." How am I a Nazi? Well, somebody told me that you were. What makes a Nazi? I don't know, but you're one. They're absolutely educated idiots, and they're educated beyond their own intelligence with facts that don't exist, that are just made up. It's like what Ronald Reagan said. He said the problem with Democrats is they know a lot of things that aren't true. And that's what we're talking about. They have all of these sets of facts they think are facts that are not true, that are making up a reality that doesn't exist. And that's the problem.
For their own agenda and power.
Well,
and
they're easy to control. When you can debase a population's morality.
Then everybody acts like a freaking robot.
Well, when you can debase their morality and get them to accept anything that you tell them is true, then they're so much easier to control, because the Jews are bad, the black guys are bad, the white guys are bad. They can target anybody that they want, and it all becomes identity politics. And any group that disagrees with them gets targeted, and the hive mind goes along with the program because it's the truth.
Well, like the old saying goes, it's fine as long as they're going after everybody else. But then it wasn't fine when they came for me. And they right now that people are starting to see, hey, you know what? I could be the next person that's on this chopping block.
Well, and this is why I'm so angry about this with using Anne Frank.
It's just disgusting.
These people have no shame, and it's just unbelievable. So let's go to California. Speaking of disgusting and unbelievable.
Which part? We couldn't be talking about our good old governor, could we?
The Gov. Yeah, Gaffin
that piece of
Newscomb.
crap.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, So California releases its own vaccine recommendations as RFK shifts federal policy based on, as everybody knows, people dying. Oh, and we'll get to the
Well, you have to wonder, for me, when you read the headline, California releases its own vaccine recommendations. What's up?
Well, because
I'm just saying,
they're going to do their own thing.
What's up with Newsom? Oh, yeah, like he really cares about this,
Oh, sure
right?
he does. He does.
Yeah. He really cares about the kids.
He cares about everybody. He cares about that if your house burns down in the Palisades, that you can rebuild quickly. He cares about that your vote counts. He cares about making sure that everybody's safe and make sure that there's water in the hydrants when there's a fire.
He really cares about the
The
children.
homeless has really improved since
homelessness-
he took over.
They were all off the streets when the guy from China
I was
came.
just
I
gonna
mean, what
say,
did you guys want?
He really cares when a dictator from China comes
Yeah.
to San Francisco to
Yeah,
make
cleaned
sure
up the streets.
Could not get needles for diabetics for their medicine, but we can give them out for free to the people on the street. He's
Yeah,
great.
and nothing ever happened about that.
Yeah, he's our guy, Gavin Newscomb. This guy is the slimiest politician I've ever seen. I mean, he makes Gru on Despicable Me look like a saint. So here we go.
He really needs to go away.
This is him. Okay, and scroll up a little bit. Leading medical organizations inform the news. So, who's the leading
The
medical?
new
I like the way they say
guidelines.
this. Who's the leading medical organizations? Inform the state's new guidelines announced as part of a Western State Alliance. This should scare the crap out of you. A Western State Alliance. A new law requires insurers to cover vaccines for most Californians. Okay, that
Welcome to Cal Matters.
that sounds fine. They should cover. Except now, what they're going to do is mandate all of these vaccines to your babies, your kids in schools, at work. Is that going to be a problem?
You're right, Leslie. They're changing the wording because if you read that sentence, it says the only nonprofit newsroom devoted solely to covering issues that affect all Californians.
Well, see, when they say all Californians, what I've discovered is that means everybody, including people who aren't Californians. Because
As long as you're here, you're a Californian.
If you're in California, you're
all.
So with under that line of thinking and theory, if we were invaded by China, now that they're in California, they're entitled to health care because they're Californians.
Yeah, well, just like Leslie was saying, they've shifted from student to residents.
It's all Californians 6 months
Now
and
it's
older.
all Californians.
So this removes the former thing where if your kid was homeschooled or a private school organization that allowed a medical exemption, you can't have that anymore.
Well, I predict one of two things: either an instant revolt with the big finger, middle finger in the air, and pound sand, or people are going to be leaving California in droves because
they're already leaving.
Living in California.
But
in
if
droves.
you remember, in the North State, what really ticked all the people off here in the North State with the mothers was the mask and the mandates for
the kids,
vaccines. The kids, once again, when they messed with the kids,
46% of the county stayed home. Watch us do it again.
Right.
So Governor Gavin Newsom and the state health officials released the recommendations. So let's see. So they passed a law that leading medical organizations that aren't named, okay, welcome to Cal Matters, the only nonprofit newsroom devoted solely to covering issues to affect all Californians. So nobody else matters, even if they report something contrary, because these are the guys that are looking out for you and your best interest in keeping you safe.
And in his effort to Trump-proof California, you see who he's partnered with is the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists.
Obstetricians.
That is exactly who Maha just removed from the table. And so because Maha removed them from the table, Gavin Newsom is going to now make them the point men of health in California.
Of course
just
he is.
Because Trump said it's a good idea.
Well, I saw a meme. I saw a meme where Trump said, "Don't put plastic bags over your head and cinch them down." Then that's exactly what the left would do. So we have a new strategy.
Well,
to employ.
what is it? The Tylenol thing?
Yeah,
Don't take Tylenol or whatever.
I heard that, and I said, I bet the idiots are taking Tylenol. I was kidding. No,
they really are.
They're starting to take a bunch of Tylenol because Trump said it was bad. These people are crazy. So
that lady killed herself and her baby.
So go up a little bit. We are here to protect our communities, Dr. Erica Pan, director of the California Department of Health, told Cal Matters. Many of us have dedicated our lives to doing that. We feel really strongly and want to show our unity as medical, scientific, and public health experts, which, these people are unbelievable.
You notice they don't mention anything about their oath that they're supposed to take, right?
Oh, the do no harm thing?
Yeah.
Who cares? That just doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't. I forgot.
Pharmacies across the country started dispensing the vaccine in recent weeks, but
Do no harm.
Yeah, but anecdotes and news reports reveal a patchwork of access, and some people having no difficulty getting the shots, while others are still unable to get it. It's like, so some people can just go right in and get the shots, and nobody, and some other people can't get it. So that's a problem, right? Really? Does anybody even want the shot anymore? I bet you if you went to some real statistics, the only ones that are going to want these shots.
There's probably a few out there.
You got to be stupid at this point. So,
well, if you notice, you still see. I saw people the other day in Costco wearing masks. I'm just saying.
Well, and in an unrelated story, 28% of the people are the only ones that believe the mainstream media anymore.
Well, there you go. So
we got about 28% that'll put the bags on their heads and tighten up the cinches so they can't breathe.
After they take the Tylenol.
After they take Tylenol, because that's what will keep you safe. So go ahead and. Go up a little bit. Let's see. Last month, approved the use of the updated vaccine, but only for seniors.
Or from ages 5 to 64.
And for people. So how does that? How can you be a senior, but it's only for seniors, and for everybody else that's 5 to 64,
unless you have an underlying condition. So that's everybody.
Yeah.
All. Remember,
He's got
it said
a cold.
all.
Yeah. this is more restrictive than previous years, blah, 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 blah. So, and, so there's no harm, no foul here. There's nothing wrong with the vaccines. Everybody knows that. That's why I bet everybody I know has at least one person they know that has died from COVID vaccines.
So Newsom is bringing this out and everything because if you read on, just before, 2 days ahead of the key meeting where a federal vaccine panel will review the updated COVID-19 vaccine. I wonder what they're going to come out with.
Yeah. Cal Matters, nonprofit and nonpartisan news. Yeah. Do you trust these guys? Let's go to the next one. I think you get the message. So what do we got at the top?
Oh, this is
we asked
Grok.
we asked Grok a series of questions.
Grokpedia.
So we just typed in the headline: California releases its own vaccine recommendations so just verifying this stuff. The policy shifts under RFK. After he fired all 17 members of the CDC's advisory committee on, I wonder if they went to work for Pfizer or something, because
Probably.
And replacing them with 12 new appointees, many who were vaccine skeptics. Wow.
They all moved to California and got a job.
They were totally unbiased before because they all believed in the vaccines, right? And probably were getting paid to do that. So, shifting COVID-19 vaccine guidance to individual decision-making. That's absolutely got to be a problem. When you have to think for yourself and you can decide whether you want
it or not?
Yeah, whether I want to take this or not. That's a real problem, especially in California, because you're not an expert. And
You don't know. You don't know about these things.
Yeah,
we have to tell you about these things.
Those friends of yours that died, don't worry.
Yeah.
That wasn't it. All right, so...
Well, and the other thing that AB 144 does is the federal government went in and tried to make it to where there are penalties for, because during I think it was Reagan administration, they, gave that leniency to all pharmaceutical companies or that,
you couldn't sue them.
Exemption. So the federal government's trying to undo that.
Right.
And so this shores that up in California that they are completely medically exempt.
Yeah, that's
from
what you want.
charges.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want your pharmaceutical company to be completely shielded from any lawsuits if there's malfeasance or malpractice or something screwed
or something.
up.
Yeah, it happens.
So
And I like it. There it says about the pharmacist. He's the one that can prescribe it and administer it without
federal alignment,
it's,
ensuring
broad
everybody can
access.
get it.
Yeah, no problem. Just go down to your local pharmacy and let him jab you.
So you guys could do your homework on this. You can see and make your own minds up and so forth. The broader implications of this is the largest state-level break from federal vaccine policy to date, potentially influencing other blue states in fears of reduced excess under RFK. Hey, you're going to, if you want the vaccine.
Almost sounds like they're, going to come to your door and knock on it like, where's your papers?
So, in other words, if I don't want to take it, you're going to make me take it because I don't want it, and
You must do as we tell you.
No major legal challenges have emerged. I anticipate that'll be right off. For full details, you can visit the immunization page of the Watch resources.
Like I say, it almost like, where's your papers?
So we asked the
proves
question.
that
So we asked the question. Go back up. We asked the question. No, one more. We asked the question. What is the science based on? So the West Coast Health Alliance.
those 4 states that they
used the grounded evidence from established public health organizations and clinical data. Really? Okay. So what were those established public health organizations? And recommendations were drawn from guidance from groups like the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecology. And that's because those guys are vaccine experts, right? And other scientific bodies.
Yeah.
What the other ones? Who are the other ones? Emphasizing peer-reviewed studies and long-standing vaccine efficacy data. Where's the data? Where's the basis? They keep going back to the same group of people. The World Health
because I say so.
The World Health Organization. Yeah, that's a good boy. They're trustworthy. And Pfizer and Moderna, the guys who are selling you the vaccines, that's trustworthy. I would definitely do what they tell me every time
And
they
the
make a vaccine.
Global Health Organization, the WHO they have no other agenda or anything with some of the guidelines they came out with, for vaccines and mask and all that for the people.
Maternal vaccine data from ACOG highlights.
I don't know what ACOG is.
What is ACOG? Is
American.
That's the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecology.
Oh, okay.
So they shortened up. So the federal shift limits the COVID-19 vaccine recommendation to high-risk groups, seniors. So in other words, you can take the thing anytime you want, but you're not forced to take it. And they only recommend it for the high-risk group as maybe a way to help them out. I think that's probably going to go away too.
Well, let's see, because why not give it to the seniors? Then we don't have to worry about them anymore.
I'm not sure that that's a very moral argument.
Well, that's the way they look at it. They just
Well,
cost us money.
It's less health insurance you have to provide with, and that kind of goes like to the death panel thing.
Yeah,
let
exactly.
the guy die. It's fine.
Yeah, if you got any problems or anything, you're the candidate to take the vaccine.
And you look at the scientific basis of these things and the effectiveness. You know, we saw that the effectiveness of these vaccines get smaller and smaller and smaller, the numbers as far as the percentages. And so I don't believe any of this data. I don't believe what these guys say about anything
And
anymore.
then they keep coming out with new vaccines like the RSV one that's next. They've come out with that, and they come out with all these boosters and everything, trying to get people roped into taking vaccines again.
You know, there might be some good vaccines, but at this point, would you trust anything?
No.
Not me. So let's keep going. I think we asked Grok another question here. Are there studies that refute these expert studies that you keep telling us about from these organizations that don't seem to have any expertise in vaccines? So we went through that, and I'm not going to belabor the point here, but you can read the data yourself. There's efficacy concerns. Let's see, for preventing infections, effectiveness dropping from 20 to 40% for symptomatic illnesses. And then when it dropped even farther than that, then they found out that you could actually get the vaccine or get the COVID from the vaccine. So it wasn't actually...
Yeah, it didn't stop
It didn't
them.
stop you. It actually promoted it, you know? So you can look at all this stuff and see the claims. So, I mean, come on. At what point in time do you not trust these people? Do you trust the news media, and you trust all the Democratic Party and government, and you trust Gavin Newsom, and you trust the World Health Organization, and you trust all these guys to steer you in the right direction, right? Because that's what they did during the COVID thing.
Well, with everything coming out, just like with Netflix and everything else that we're exposing, why would you believe anything? It's all been a bunch of lies. They're all doing all this evil, sick stuff.
Here, shut up and take this.
No, thank you.
Hold on.
But why would you want to do anything that somebody like that would tell you that you had to do? Why not go? No, I'll make that decision.
Yeah. All right. So what else did we ask? Any other questions? You guys
I don't think so.
You guys can do these series of questions if you want and kind of look at everything and see. But I think we're going to wrap the show up with this. And I'll tell you what, these are all Democratic policies. And if you think about that, this is all the Democrats. You trust them with your kids? Do you trust them with your health? Do you trust them with it? Do you trust these people with anything? I don't.
It doesn't work.
And so I guess that's it for today. We wanted to get this
Protect your children. Think of your children before you do things.
Podcast 156. SickFlix is in the can, and government is not reason. It is not eloquence. It is force, and force like fire is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. And
We'll see you next time.